Hello everybody and welcome to day 19 of the Cornwall 500. This day was a little bit of a rogue day. We were going to do something different on this day because it was a kind of pad day that we designed early on. So we wanted to do a bit of a story and have a bit of a fun day while also visiting a couple of places that are really important. Some legendary places when it comes to Cornwall, and especially mid Cornwall because we focus so much on the coast up until now. So let me show you where we were to. Where were we to? That dotted line right across the middle. I will explain. So we started off in the middle of Bodmin at Shane Solomon's Cornwall Channel TV studios. We've been meaning to get there for ages. I'll tell you a bit more about Shane in a moment. And we headed down to Bodmin because we had to. And then we headed over to the Air Ambulance HQ. So let's go through some of the photographs. And I got some videos as well. So first of all, we've done a TV interview with Shane Solomon. If you don't know who Shane Solomon is, you're going to have to just look up the Cornwall Channel. Find Shane Solomon. He is a legend. He is funny. He is one of the people that has such a huge heart and does everything for everybody. And he needs the biggest, huge shout out because he connects, I think, more people on social media than anybody I know. Shane, you're a legend. Thank you. I look forward to your interview when it comes out that we had. So here he is, hypnotizing me, I think. Or the teddy, not sure. Trying to get a teddy to levitate. And there's me delivering a plaque to Shane. So well deserved. So we come out of his studios and it was absolutely pelting down. The van by this time is a complete and utter mess. But I was doing an interview with Julie on BBC Radio and I was being filmed at the same time by BBC Spotlight. So it was kind of funny. They were filming me in the back of the van while doing an live interview with Julie on BBC Radio. I thought that was kind of funny. And there we were with Tamsin and Paul. They found us in the middle of nowhere. So we spent like half an hour with them doing some spotlight reels and all that. As you know, you've seen them on the news and all that evening. That was on Friday. It was so cold. It looks lovely and summery, but literally it was freezing. You may notice I used to have my red trousers. They were too thin. They were too thin. I had to get my lined jeans just to stay warm. Tamsin on a bike for the first time in about 200 years. Probably about 20 actually. I do exaggerate. The cattle grid. If you haven't seen the cattle grid video, you have to go onto TikTok and see it. The Clive Mitchell abandoned bike just there in the background. So Clive ran down there to take a picture of me going over it. And I looked at the gap in the first. Now look at my wheel and look at that gap. No chance. That would not have had me just jumping in it. That would have literally, I would have dropped in it and I would have gone head first out over it. So yeah, I normally just hit the cattle grids fast. I'm glad I didn't on that one. Clive. Oh, that's a nice caricature, isn't it? And then we headed off to Bodmin Jail. Now then, there's a whole story and series reel on our TikTok, on our Instagram and LinkedIn and on Facebook. You have to go and see them. All 3 parts will be up by the end of today. Both parts are up now, first part 1 and part 2. It's just some fun. We really had some fun that day. It was needed. We so needed that. Me and Clive, Bodmin Jail. And then I was put in a cell for a few hours. Not nice. That cell has some stories. To think, I always, whenever I go to these places, I always consider what has actually happened in that room and things. And yeah, if you ever get a chance, go to Bodmin Jail. They have some amazing stories. And then we have Jess, Will and Rich. They absolutely got into the part. Brilliant. Will you're a legend as well. He got dressed up into the part and went down the dungeons, and he put me in a cell. You might see him in a minute. This is us going down there to begin with. I'm just going to find a video a minute. So it's all part of the experience. So you have the countdown. And then every 10 minutes, everybody goes down below, a door opens, and you have this whole experience of telling the story of Bodmin Moor and different things and all that. So well worth going and visiting. And then I was found guilty, sent to the dungeons, and Will got dressed up in a costume. He's only been there a couple of weeks, social media guru up at Bodmin Jail, and he got dressed up all in the part and all that. So I want to show you a video. You may recognise the guy in the next clip.
So, Mr. Webb, I've had a letter come through that actually we've got a conditional release. The conditional release.
And you'll find out more about that if you go and find those 3-part videos. So, and then I headed over to the Cornwall Air Ambulance HQ. So I don't know if you can hear me over the noise, but in the centre there's my directions where I'm going. You see how much the chair jumped up and down even on a smooth road. And bearing in mind that picture a moment ago, we were holding all the traffic up. And I do like to use the road to make sure they don't try to dive around the outside of me. The tracker phone on the left. This is a point when I realised the flags and all that were out. I was like, oh. Oh. I don't know what to say now.
Hey! Hello!
Oh, you guys.
How are you?
I'm good.
It's nice to see you.
Yeah. I've been out and about.
How's the body?
Hey, let's have a hug, Tim.
You alright?
Yeah.
How's the body?
It's sore.
Yeah.
I'm in the right place though.
You are in the right place.
So,
In the right place. We've got cake, we've got tea.
oh, that sounds good. God, a nice cup of tea.
Actually, guys, let's go here. Just very, very quickly. Just very, very quickly. Guys, Jen. We'll do it out there, but I just want to make a small announcement because, Stephen, you've been a long time advocate of Cornwall Air Ambulance, and so...
And I'm going to stop it there because the announcement will be coming out soon, public, and just watching that just makes me emotional. Delivered a plaque there, obviously. I have to apologise to the plaque did not print properly, so I need to deliver another one, but we were running out of time, so sorry, Tim and the Air Ambulance, you got a plaque that needs replacing. That's what happens when you're like on the road and you're doing other things. Look at little Ted there in the bottom. He jailbreaked his friend, so they fell in love and they're going to live happily ever after. Sarah and Sherelle, I want to share this photograph because look at the mud that I brought in on their lovely clean carpet. And we were in that room, I think January, maybe February. And we approached them and said, we got this idea. And they sat around the table and they were like, oh my God, this is really good, brilliant. And then suddenly you're here and you've done it. And I talk about life through moments, and it really is. You don't remember the stuff in between, you remember the moments. And it sounds like a meme nowadays, but create moments, just, that's what it is. And then on Saturday, I had a bit of a rest day and I went down and met some awesome celebrities and legends. Paul Ainsworth, massive ambassador of the Air Ambulance. Daphne from Spotlight or BBC Radio Cornwall, legendary locally. Thank you, Daphne. You supported us from the very beginning. Another local legend, Nick, coming over and donating. Nick, you're an absolute star. And then another local legend, Betty. So I haven't drunk alcohol for such a long time. And when I finished the finish line, 24 hours after that, one of the representatives from the brewery came over and goes, would you like a drink? I was like, oh my God, it was so nice. You'll find out more about that tomorrow in the news. I'm going to just remind you, we will be going live tomorrow at 4 p.m. UK time. Me and Clive talking about the challenge, how it came about. Join us and ask us questions. Anything about us, why we're doing it, about the journey or anything, or about the plaques or about where we're going in the future. Please, we just want as many of you to join us and join in. This challenge was more than about me and Clive and the Cornwall 500. It's about Cornwall. We had three main principles. Benefit everybody, the whole community. Boost the economy of Cornwall. And be accessible and inclusive as possible. And I think we're somewhat there. I think there's always work to be done. Always will be. But the three main principles are very much alive and well with the Cornwall 500. And I want to leave you with one last thing. An opportunity. An opportunity to be a hero. And more importantly, because I am one, a Heli 2 hero. So, you can have your name on the bottom of the helicopter if you go to the link in this post. How awesome is that? So every time it takes off, if you're Tom Cruise and you're attached underneath, don't recommend it, not at home. But if you are, you'll be able to read your name and everybody else's that supported the helicopter. Just head over to the link in this news post. And it's the lower cost of a donation than you probably think. Go and do it. I highly recommend it. If you have got your name and all on it, post here. Let us know in below. Thank you. And tomorrow will be maybe Saturday. I'll post the final day coming in from my perspective. That'll be interesting. I love you guys. Take care and have an awesome evening.